This is Shirley, the herb lady from Alaska. Today we're going to speak on white oak. I had a customer that came in here a couple of years ago, and his wife had brought him in, and he had varicose veins, but I never seen anything like this. He had knots on his legs. I mean, big knots. I mean, to me, it looked like the lymph gland system, but anyway, she called it varicose veins, and she said, "What can I do?" I said, "You make a tea out of white oak, put flannel, put it down in the tea, wrap it around, and keep doing it till those goes away." She did, and I think it was about a month or two. She came in, and he pulled up his pant leg. He was like 83 years old, and he had smooth legs, not no more knots, and he was so happy. And so this white oak is really, really good. And then I have women that's incontinence, because what white oak does is when you take it, it tightens up. It tightens up, and it tightens up the tissues that's flabby, or you're old and you're dripping, or maybe you're young and you're dripping in your urinary. It tightens it up, and honestly, it's really good. It's worked with a lot of people. So white oak has strong properties that has been used for external and internal bleeding. And I can see that, because if you're bleeding internal and you tighten everything up, it would quit the bleeding. It is excellent cleanser for inflammation area of the skin and the mucous membrane. It heals damaged tissues in the stomach and the intestine. It has been used for excess stomach mucus, which causes complaints of sinus congestion and post-nasal drip. And how many people, I told my husband, I think he needs to get on it, because after I started cleaning him out, he never had post-nasal drip. And when I started cleaning him out, he started having it. So maybe he needs some white oak. It relieves the stomach by strengthening it, better internal absorption, and improves the metabolism. The tea of the bark can be used for washing the gums in any gum infection, gargle for sore throat. It can be used as an intestinal tonic for diarrhea. It can also be used for antidote for drug allergies and for chemotherapy side effects. It's useful for inflammation and for cuts. It's a clotting, shrinking, antiseptic effect. White oak is helpful to cleanse inflammation of the skin. It helps with the vagina and any infection and yeast infection, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, pinworms, mouth sores, thrush, tonsillitis, and pyorrhea. It's reported to stop bleeding, helps to remove kidney stones and gallstones, and reduces fevers, temperature and fevers. White oak is good for hemorrhoids, varicose veins, gallstones, and bladder problems, and also good for teeth. White oak was used by the native Indians for diarrhea, hemorrhoids, and to treat wounds. White oak was listed in the U.S. pharmacy from 1820 to 1916 as an antiseptic, astringent, and tonic. White oak bark is rich in tannins, and see, the tannins is what tightens everything up. Their ability to shrink tissue, construct, and strengthen blood vessels. And a lot of people, around the gums, it's being pulled away, and you can see the top of the gums. And if you put a capsule of white oak on this side and on the other side, and now the one that I use is Nature's Sunshine. The other ones, I don't know, because they got different kinds of capsules, but all capsules literally melt in your mouth. I mean, they don't stay very long, but they literally tighten the tissue around your gums, so the gums are much more tighter around there. And I've had a lot of people that had trouble with their gums, and it really helped them with the gums. And you can make a tea and heat it up, and you could use it as a gargle too. People like a gargle. That's one of the really good gargles for the teeth. White oak is a mild diuretic. It flushes toxins and irritants out of the body. Such action in the white oak it helps with any lesions any burns, any skin abrasions, diarrhea, dysentery. Too bad they didn't know about it during World War during the war, well, World War One and Two, they had dysentery, but they also had a lot of dysentery during the Civil War. And they had white oak bark right there. All they had to do was take the bark and boil it up and make the tea. It helps with pyorrhea, hemorrhaging, hemorrhoids, mouth sores, rashes, and varicose veins. White oak has been stopped coughing up blood from the lungs. White oak contains vitamin B12, iron, and potassium. It also has tannins in it, and it's 15 to 20% tannins, and that's what tightens everything up. Early settlers used it numerously for their skin problems and to heal the wounds. The acorns have also been used to make a hot drink that could help control bowel conditions. Astringent work by shrinking the body tissue on the inside and the outside. And people don't understand that is so important to get something tight in your body and not flabby. Internal, they help to heal bleeding, varicose veins. They help the skin as well as skin complaints like burns, bruises, wrinkles, and eczema. It's anti-inflammation, antiseptic properties, and excellent for the skin. The tannins binds with protein in the tissue with the help to stave off harmful pathogens and bacteria. White oak has been effectively used against urinary tract infection, dysentery, and vaginal inflammation. It has also been successfully used to treat poison ivy and pain, inflammation from a bee sting or bug bites. Yeah. When applied to the skin, it may also help speed up healing process for minor wounds, cuts, and burns. It's also helped with mouth ulcers and herpes. You can apply it directly to the skin or make a cold compress with white oak, and that's what that guy did. His wife did, the wife did it for him for months, but it just took care of all those knots that was all over his leg. And they did it with flannel, dipped it down, and then they put plastic around it. And then if they want it to go really into the body, you put a hot towel over the top of that. But I don't know if she did it all the time, but she did wrap it all the time in white oak. White oak is a natural diuretic, and it helps to promote frequency of urination, and it helps to have a healthy bladder. It treats urinary elimination of kidney stones caused by buildup uric acid in the bloodstream. White oak helps with infection and of respiratory tract. It helps to get rid of mucus, phlegm from the respiratory system. The tea from the herb helps the cough, bronchitis, and respiratory problems. White oak helps to treat infection, dental and toothaches. You can make a natural mouthwash by boiling a cup of white oak and allowing it to cool and swash it around. And then instead of spitting it out, drink it because it's really good. So you can kill two birds with one stone. Have a mouthwash to tighten your gums up and then swallow it, and it helps to tighten the inside up. Especially if somebody says you're bleeding inside, white oak will stop it. Make a paste will help draw out stings, splinters, because it's a drawing herb, and it helps to boost your digestive health. So I hope you enjoy the teaching on white oak. Just remember, it tightens. If you need anything to tighten, like if you're dripping or anything like that, it tightens it up, and you won't have to deal with it anymore if you use white oak.